The calm before the storm. 3,000 years of peace had left humanity soft in the eyes of the galaxy. Interstellar trade flowed freely, scientific collaboration crossed star systems, and humans were seen as diplomats, mediators, and, most importantly, harmless. Across hundreds of colonies, from the glassy cities of New Europa to the ocean domes of Kepler 22b, life hummed with gentle precision. AI managed infrastructure, fleets patrolled quietly for cosmic hazards, and the remnants of Earth's ancient military traditions were largely ceremonial. Admiral Selene Voss, however, knew better. She walked the bridge of the ISS Dauntless, her boots echoing softly against the polished metal floors. The flagship, a sleek spearhead of humanity's most advanced warship design, glimmered under the soft light of distant stars. While the rest of the galaxy saw a harmless symbol of human progress, Voss saw a tool of unimaginable potential. "Admiral, sensor readings just came through from the Sorrento system," reported Lieutenant Kieran Hale, his voice steady but tense. "Unidentified vessels, no prior communication, moving at high velocity toward human colonies." Voss studied the holographic display. A fleet of enormous alien dreadnoughts had dropped into the system from hyperspace, their designs sharp and angular, bristling with weaponry. "How many?" she asked. "Too many to count on a single display," Hale replied. "And their energy signatures are off the charts. This isn't a survey or a diplomatic visit." A ripple of tension moved across the bridge crew, though outwardly, humanity's long habit of calm under pressure held firm. Voss allowed herself a small, almost imperceptible smile. The galaxy had spent 3 millennia believing humanity passive, predictable, polite. It was about to discover how wrong it had been. "Send immediate warnings to the colonies in their path," she ordered. "Activate defensive protocols and raise civilian evacuation fleets. Let them see the face of humanity before they understand it." Across the galaxy, alien systems convened councils in secret. Reports flooded in from scouts and spies, detailing the strange, serene nature of humans. They were peaceful, they were predictable, and for thousands of years, they had been dormant. One emissary sneered as he addressed his council. "A species that hasn't fought in 3 millennia is no threat. We move now, and this will be over before they know it." Back on the Dauntless, Voss' team worked swiftly. AI-driven simulations ran thousands of potential strategies. Tactical holograms displayed centuries of human warfare, Earth's ancient campaigns, remembered not as relics, but as inspiration. Voss had studied them all. She knew that, when pushed, humans did not fight by convention. They fought by instinct, by ingenuity, and with a determination that no algorithm could predict. "Admiral," said Hale, pointing at a flickering projection, "they've broadcast an ultimatum. They demand unconditional surrender. Threaten annihilation if we resist." Voss paused, letting the words hang in the air. Humanity's centuries of peace had lulled the galaxy into complacency, but her ancestors had survived famine, plague, conquest, and nuclear fire. Humans smiled at hardship. They laughed at danger. She allowed a grin to touch her lips. "Very well," she said, her voice calm, almost gentle. "Prepare the response, but make it brief. And, hell, make it clear, humans do not surrender." The message, simple and taut, was transmitted across subspace. "We acknowledge your message. Humanity does not surrender. Admiral Selene Voss, ISS Dauntless." The alien fleet paused in surprise, their sensors picking up the subtle defiance, the unspoken challenge. They had expected panic, confusion, or submission. What they received instead was serenity and menace beneath it. In the colonies, humans went about emergency preparations calm and organized. Children were led to safe zones, civilians to evacuation ships, and engineers activated defense arrays hidden for centuries. No one panicked. The galaxy had forgotten one thing. When humanity grinned, it was never without reason. Voss turned to the bridge crew. "Begin tactical formations. Activate decoy arrays. Prepare the fleet for full engagement. We are not running. We're teaching them a lesson they will never forget. As the stars stretched across the viewport, the alien fleet moved closer, confident in victory. Yet the Dauntless and her companions held position with a quiet confidence that bordered on arrogance. Humanity's history, long dormant, was about to roar back to life. And the galaxy, which had spent 3,000 years thinking humans harmless, would soon learn the cost of underestimating them. Voss clenched her fists lightly. She could feel the tension, the anticipation, the thrill that only true warriors remembered. She allowed herself one more grin, a simple, human expression that conveyed centuries of history, experience, and sheer unpredictability. The aliens had declared war. Humanity smiled back. First strike, first surprise. The alien fleet loomed like a mountain of steel and fire against the darkness of space, its dreadnoughts bristling with weapons that could obliterate entire colonies in seconds. The galaxy had seen many fleets, but none had faced humanity's hidden hand, a fleet thought ceremonial, insignificant, yet poised like a coiled spring. Admiral Selene Voss stood on the bridge of the Dauntless, watching the alien vessels through the viewport. Her fingers drummed lightly on the console, a rhythm that echoed centuries of human tactics, distilled into instinct. "Formation Delta ready," said Lieutenant Hale. "Civilian evacuation routes are active. Defensive grids online. Decoys are in position. The first wave of our strike fleet is in stealth vectors." Voss nodded. "Good. They expect panic. They expect hesitation. They'll get neither. Engage Sequence 1. Let's remind the galaxy why humans never surrender." In the blink of a subspace cycle, the Dauntless and its fleet of accompanying human cruisers and stealth corvettes vanished from conventional sensors. The aliens, confident in their numerical superiority, began their advance toward the outer colonies, their dreadnoughts sending pulses of energy that could fry a planet's surface. Then came the first human strike. From the shadows of hyperspace, small groups of human corvettes emerged like predators from the underbrush. Their engines flared with a pale blue light, swift and silent. The corvettes' AI-assisted targeting systems projected holographic decoys, tricking the alien fleet into splitting formation. When the first wave of alien fighters responded, they flew straight into ambushes. Explosions erupted with calculated precision. Not one human ship had been lost, yet alien vessels disintegrated under concentrated volleys of energy weapons, gravitic traps, and plasma torpedoes. The alien sense of control, so absolute moments before, began to fracture. "Admiral," Hale said, tension creeping into his voice, "they're trying to regroup. Their command vessels are scanning for us, but nothing is showing. Our decoy patterns are holding. They have no idea where we are." Voss allowed herself a small smile. "Good. Let them feel the edge of uncertainty. Fear is the mind killer, even for species that think they are gods." The humans didn't just attack. They taught lessons in unpredictability. One decoy fleet appeared to retreat, drawing a squadron of alien ships into an uncharted asteroid field. The aliens' advanced sensors failed to account for human improvisation. Mines detonated, corvettes slipped through blind spots, and the alien squadron evaporated in seconds. Across human command, the message was simple: we fight on our terms. It was more than military strategy. It was human nature distilled into action. Bold, creative, and terrifyingly effective. Even the smallest human pilots showed brilliance. In one dogfight, a young lieutenant named Mara Jean, barely 20 years old, executed maneuvers that bent physics itself. Using a combination of sudden vector shifts, gravitational slingshots around nearby moons, and precise bursts of engine thrust, she made an alien interceptor crash into the path of its own fleet, taking 3 ships with it. The alien command began to panic. Their dreadnoughts, previously confident in raw firepower, realized that each human move was impossible to predict, each tactic built on ingenuity rather than brute force. Reports flooded in, formations breaking apart, energy shields failing, morale crumbling. The very aliens who had declared humans harmless now questioned everything they thought they knew. Voss watched all of it unfold with quiet satisfaction. She activated the fleet-wide communication channel. Her voice, calm and controlled, carried across subspace to every human ship. Today, the galaxy will learn that humanity does not tremble in the face of fear. We do not cower in the shadow of numbers. We fight, we endure, and we create victory where none should exist. Execute Phase 2. Trap the command fleet in Sector 7. By now, the alien dreadnoughts were completely misaligned. Try to respond to 1,000 different threats simultaneously. Humanity's secondary wave, heavier cruisers, cloaked artillery platforms, and AI control drones, struck from multiple vectors at once. Alien energy shields failed to recalibrate fast enough. One dreadnought, flagship of the alien vanguard, erupted in a cascade of fire, leaving debris scattered across the void. On the bridge of the Dauntless, Voss allowed herself a rare laugh. Not of joy, but of satisfaction, the kind a predator feels when the prey finally realizes it has been outmatched. "Damage reports?" she asked. "Minimal losses," Hale replied, almost in disbelief. "The alien fleet is fragmented. Command structure is in chaos. They didn't expect this." "No," Voss said softly. "They never do. That is what it means to be human." Even as the first battle ended, the galaxy watched. Across human colonies, people cheered quietly, civilians aiding the war effort with tools, ships, and ingenious solutions that no alien could anticipate. Across alien systems, fear began to spread. Whispers of the species that had slept for 3 millennia now awakened to fight. The humans had struck first, and not in desperation, but in confidence. They had shown the galaxy that peace had not dulled their edge. It had honed it. And in the heart of it all, Admiral Voss smiled. The aliens had declared war, believing humans weak and predictable. Instead, they had awakened a storm they could not comprehend. Humanity grinned back. Humanity's wrath unleashed. The alien armada had been shattered. Fleets that once projected invincibility now drifted in fragments, their commanders scrambling to regroup, confused by the humans' brilliance. Across the galaxy, the news traveled faster than any official broadcast. Humans had fought back. They had not only resisted, they had humiliated an enemy thought unstoppable. On the bridge of the Dauntless, Admiral Selene Voss studied the map of star systems flickering before her. Human forces were converging on the remnants of the alien fleet, but this was more than retaliation. It was a statement. Humanity had been underestimated, and that mistake would be remembered for generations. Phase 3 is ready, Lieutenant Hale reported, voice tense with a mixture of awe and anticipation. Our forces are deploying multi-vector strikes across their occupied systems. Civilians and automated drones are integrated into all operations. They have no idea what's coming. Voss's lips curved into a subtle smile. Good. Let them see the full measure of human ingenuity. Engage. From the shadows of hyperspace, human strike teams appeared in systems the aliens had deemed secure. Entire command networks fell into traps. Ships that were thought invincible were caught in gravity wells designed to mimic black holes, compressing hulls and tearing engines apart. Stealth drones, disguised as cosmic debris, infiltrated alien ships and sabotaged their power cores. But the humans' true power lay not in brute force alone. It lay in creativity, a uniquely human combination of intuition, psychology, and improvisation. One squadron of corvettes lured a patrol of alien dreadnoughts into a nebula whose electrically charged gas disrupted sensors and weapons. Human engineers had designed weapons that exploited alien biology in subtle ways, creating fear, confusion, and chaos that no amount of training could counter. In one particularly audacious maneuver, a young human engineer named Kaido deployed a quantum pulse through the core of a command ship. The alien officers inside experienced the pulse as a sudden, overwhelming perception of threat from every direction at once. A sensory overload that left them paralyzed while the ship's systems went offline. Within minutes, the vessel drifted powerless, a monument to human ingenuity. Voss observed the strikes with calm precision. Her mind calculated odds, but she didn't rely solely on numbers. Humanity had always thrived in chaos, turning apparent disadvantages into opportunities. Every move they made was designed not only to destroy but to teach a lesson. Humans were unpredictable, resourceful, and relentless. Across the galaxy, alien societies began to fracture. Panic rippled through fleets, colonies, and governments. Rumors of human tactics spread faster than any fleet could move. Commanders who once mocked humans now whispered of a species that did not simply fight. It reimagined war itself. Voss allowed herself a rare moment of pride when a message arrived from Mara Jean, the young pilot who had won a dogfight against impossible odds days before. Admiral, multiple alien squadrons surrendered without resistance. They said they'd never seen anything like us. They're terrified. Good, Voss replied. Let them be. Fear is the most honest measure of respect. By the end of the cycle, human forces had not only neutralized enemy fleets, they had liberated captured colonies. Civilians aided the war effort seamlessly, operating drones, maintaining starports, and even devising improvised weapons and tactics. Humans had turned war into a galactic collaboration, blending intellect, creativity, and courage in ways that the aliens could not comprehend. The final blow came when the alien high command attempted a counteroffensive. They amassed their remaining dreadnoughts in a desperate push toward human core systems. The humans, anticipating the move, executed a gambit that combined every advantage at their disposal. Cloak strike ships, gravitational traps, AI-directed energy waves, and decoy colonies that drew the alien forces into killing zones. Within hours, the alien fleet was annihilated. The galaxy had never witnessed such a complete collapse of a military superpower at the hands of species thought harmless. On the bridge of the Dauntless, Voss stood silently, her arms crossed, eyes reflecting the stars scattered across the viewport. She had not celebrated. There was no need. The proof was written in the debris drifting through space, in the systems now free, and in the trembling messages sent from alien colonies. Report, she said finally. Enemy forces neutralized, Hale replied. Casualties minimal. Resistance collapsing. They don't understand us, Admiral. They never have. Voss's smile widened slightly, a quiet, human expression of confidence and satisfaction. The aliens had thought humans were predictable, passive, and weak. They had misjudged. Humanity did not merely endure. Humanity adapted, created, and conquered when cornered. As the Dauntless prepared to jump to the next system, Voss addressed her fleet over subspace, her voice calm, resonant, and unmistakably human. Let this be clear to every corner of the galaxy. Humanity does not cower. We do not flee. We fight with heart, with mind, and with purpose. And when the galaxy doubts us, we smile. We act, and we win. Somewhere in the broken remnants of alien command, officers stared at screens displaying human formations and tactics, unable to reconcile what they saw. They had declared war on a species they thought dormant. Now, they faced an enemy far older, sharper, and more terrifying than any they had imagined. Humanity had awoken, and the galaxy would never look at them the same way again. A new galactic order. The alien fleet was no more. Scattered remnants drifted through space, leaderless, disoriented, and terrified. Across the galaxy, colonies that had trembled under the threat of war now breathed freely, watching the stars and wondering what humanity would do next. For 3,000 years, humans have been seen as diplomats, thinkers, and mediators. Now, there was something else entirely, a force the galaxy respected, feared, and could never underestimate again. On the bridge of the Dauntless, Admiral Selene Voss stood silently, gazing at the expanse of stars stretching before her. The battle was over, but the work had only begun. Humanity had shown the galaxy its teeth, but it would not abuse its victory. Voss had fought wars not for destruction, but to defend, to teach, and to remind others that strength without discipline was meaningless. "Admiral," Lieutenant Hale said, breaking the silence, "our forces report that alien commanders are requesting negotiations. They want a ceasefire." Voss's lips curved into a faint, deliberate smile. "Let them come. They will speak to us on our terms, not theirs. Humanity does not negotiate from fear. We negotiate from power." Diplomatic channels buzzed as alien emissaries tentatively approached human systems. For the first time, they had seen humans in action, not as diplomats or traitors, but as warriors of unmatched cunning and relentless resolve. They approached cautiously, every move measured, every transmission tinged with anxiety. Across human colonies, celebrations were muted but purposeful. Engineers restored systems, civilians assisted fleets, and pilots returned home to cheers and quiet pride. Humanity had shown it could fight, adapt, and outthink any opponent. Yet they had done so with remarkable restraint. Planets were intact, lives were largely preserved, and the galaxy's population began to grasp the enormity of what had occurred. In a historic broadcast from the Dauntless, Voss addressed the galaxy. 3,000 years of peace did not make us weak. 3,000 years of peace made us patient, thoughtful, and adaptable. You believed humanity passive. You believed we could be intimidated. You were wrong. Humanity does not seek war, but we do not fear it. We fight when cornered. We create when challenged. And when the galaxy doubts us, we smile and we act. Let this be clear. Humans do not surrender, and humans do not yield. Her words reverberated across light years, a testament to a species that had been underestimated for millennia. Alien societies, once arrogant in their assessment of humanity, were forced to reconsider everything they thought they knew about the species. Voss turned to her officers, her eyes calm but commanding. "Prepare the fleets for strategic oversight. We will assist any system willing to rebuild. We will enforce peace, not tyranny. But mark my words, any species that threatens humanity again will meet the same ingenuity, the same determination, and the same unyielding force that has brought us victory." The aliens, humbled and cautious, began negotiations. Terms were dictated by human strategy, ensuring stability, trade, and security for all systems under threat. Humanity had won not only through force, but through psychological mastery. The galaxy learned an unspoken truth. Humans did not just fight. They redefined the rules of conflict. Voss allowed herself a rare moment of reflection. She remembered the centuries of human history that had prepared them for this moment. Wars fought on Earth, sieges survived, pandemics endured, and civilizations rebuilt from ash. Humanity had been tempered by time, honed by adversity, and now it had shown the galaxy its full potential. "Admiral," Hale said quietly, "do you think they understand us now?" Voss smiled faintly, a subtle, human expression that carried centuries of confidence. "Some do, some never will, but that doesn't matter. What matters is that we remember who we are. Humanity does not bow. Humanity does not fear. Humanity smiles, and humanity acts." As the Dauntless and its fleet moved through space, the remnants of the alien armada in retreat, colonies recovering, and civilizations watching in awe, a new galactic order emerged. Humanity had established itself not through conquest, but through mastery, ingenuity, and restraint. Other species would think twice before underestimating humans again. On the bridge, Voss turned to the viewport one last time, her gaze sweeping the glittering stars. She could feel the pulse of human civilization, creative, unpredictable, and unyielding. Across the galaxy, humans were no longer just a peaceful species of diplomats and scientists. They were something far greater, a force that combined intellect, courage, and spirit in a way no other species could match. And as she allowed herself the smallest grin, Voss knew the galaxy had learned a lesson it would never forget. Humans may smile, they may joke, they may seem calm, but when provoked, they do not hesitate. They adapt. They fight. They win. The galaxy would never see humanity the same way again.